Welcome. I'm Nina Griffin, and this is the Magical Elections Podcast. This is episode 14 for July 2020. Now, if you are not familiar with me, I am a traditional astrologer and magician, and in this podcast, I discuss astrological magic. I talk about favorable magical elections, and I'll get into what that is in a second, and also host an informal exploration of the traditional magical arts with fellow magicians and people who are magic adjacent. You can find previous episodes on your favorite podcasting platform, such as Apple Podcasts, or you can just visit YouTube, and all the previous episodes, starting with episode 13, will be archived there. And of course, those are videos as well, not just audio. Be sure, whatever platform you use, to subscribe, to be notified, so that whenever I issue a new episode, you know right away and can listen to it, since these episodes are time sensitive, given that they include a free magical election for the upcoming month. So what are magical elections? Historic magical texts tell us that working magically with celestial bodies brings superior results, both magically and spiritually. We work with planets, the fixed stars, the decans of the signs, to create talismans that encapsulate and capture favorable celestial configurations and bring them into our lives. The problem with this practice is that you need to know astrology and magic, and there aren't many astrologers who are also magicians, or many magicians who are also astrologers. So this is where I come in. Each month, I select a few auspicious dates and times and make ritual recommendations for maximum magical potency for talismans that are suited to those particular times. Since earlier this year, magical elections have also included talismanic magical images created by Ming-Q Lee, who is a professional Oscar-nominated animator, filmmaker, and artist. This is all included in a PDF, which is the monthly magical elections document, and you can purchase it at ninagriffin.com, or you can go to patreon.com/ninagriffin and sign up for the Magus tier. All right, so today we'll talk about the contents of the July issue of Magical Elections, and I'll give you a free election from that issue for July. So again, the July issue is now available, so I recommend you get that and give yourself a little bit of time to prepare for the elections that are coming up. So this month we have a Sun in Leo Talisman. The Sun in Leo, of course, is in his domicile, so he's very powerful. And this talisman can be used for favor, fame, victory, personal vitality, all those wonderful solar qualities. This particular election also includes an image created by Ming-Q Lee that can be used for your talisman. There is a 14th lunar mansion talisman, good for healing the sick and also protecting people traveling by sea. There is a fixed star Regulus talisman, which is said to alleviate the melancholic humor, grant favor and honors, and strengthen health and vitality, as well as lessen the wrath of others, although perhaps also one's own anger. Finally, there is a fixed star Pleiades talisman, and this one is good for communicating with spirits, preserving the eyesight, finding hidden things, and controlling the winds and weather. As always, there are also two discarded elections that may look good but don't quite make the grade. And these are great learning opportunities so you can see what the difference is between a good election and a not so good one. So here is July's free magical election. This is the fixed star talisman that utilizes the fixed stars Pleiades. It's set for July 16th, 2020, and the magical window starts at 2:12 a.m. and closes at 2:20 a.m. Pacific time, set for Los Angeles, California. You will want to have the moon and the ascendant on 1 degree Gemini wherever you are. Now, the Pleiades are especially good for seeing and summoning spirits, and I think that based on what the horoscope looks like for this month, I think this is going to be the most powerful and best use of this particular magical election. However, the Pleiades can also be used for Again, preserving the eyesight, controlling the winds and weather, and uncovering or finding hidden things. So this magical election has a special magical fixed star glyph for the Pleiades that should be used for the magical talisman. And you should use an image of either a girl or a lamp on your talisman. This talisman should be made in paper rather than any kind of permanent medium, and I'll explain why in a second. So it should be pretty easy to draw these images directly on your paper talisman. For incense, you will want to use either fennel or frankincense. This is a good paper talisman, and the reason it's paper rather than a more permanent medium is that it has a square between Mercury, who's the ruler of the ascendant, and Mars. Generally, we want to avoid hard aspects like squares and oppositions and certainly conjunctions between the ruler of the ascendant and the malefic planets like Mars or Saturn. However, in this case, Mercury is received by Mars, and so even though it's a square, this tells us that the difficulties symbolized by Mars can be overcome. And as I explain in this month's magical elections, this could be a good talisman for communing with spirits so far as you understand that there could be some initial difficulties involved that later can be overcome. There are cases where people need to communicate with spirits urgently to find out some very specific information, and so I wanted to make sure that this election was available to you. If you have more time and this is something you just want to do at your leisure, maybe you wait until the Pleiades are a little bit better off, Mercury or whatever the ascending ruler is a little bit stronger. However, there are cases when you just need a spirit summoning talisman and you need it soon. And so this is going to be a pretty good choice for July. All right, that's it for July. Thank you very much for watching or listening. I'm Nina Griffin, and again, feel free to visit me on patreon.com/Nina Griffin or my website, ninagriffin.com. Have a magical July.